Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel LeConte. Today, I'll be informing everyone of how Bank of America innovated from its temporary physical debit card to its temporary digital debit card. I'll do this by first introducing how the temporary digital debit card came to be in Bank of America. Secondly, on what technology backs up and supports this digital debit card. Thirdly, the influence that it has on its competitors in Bank of America. Fourth, the implementation factors. And finally, I'll end with a conclusion about the innovation. So, from physical to digital. So, as you may know, at Bank of America, there's a process that happens when you lose your debit card. When a Bank of America customer loses their debit card, they go into the Bank of America location, any location that they may go to. They will go to a Bank of America employee and they will ask and request for a temporary debit card because they have lost their debit card. So what the employee will do, they'll put them through a process where they have to sign them up. They have to register them to have a physical permanent debit card sent to them, which is a new one, to replace their old one. And they will get all the information, and then finally they will issue them a physical temporary debit card. With this physical temporary debit card, they can use and activate it on right away after it's given to them. And after 2 weeks or so, the debit card will stop working. So it gives time for the permanent debit card to come into the mail. Now they have innovated to the temporary digital debit card, which they do not have to go to the Bank of America location at all. It's all in the mobile app. So the customer will go inside the mobile app. They will access the digital debit card that is there, and it will put them through a process there where it could be sent to a mobile wallet inside of their phone, and it could be accessed there and used for transactions and contactless payments in any merchants that have it. The issues that compelled Bank of America to have a temporary digital debit card. Well, the issues were the in-bank process. They wanted to speed this process up or not have this process at all, which was the process I described as when you come into Bank of America and you request a temporary physical debit card. Secondly, it just seemed right for Bank of America to just innovate in the sector because many merchants are adopting contactless payments, and it just seemed like the right time. The technology. So when a customer is on the mobile app and they're accessing a temporary digital debit card, they can't just use the temporary digital debit card on their phone or through Bank of America. The digital debit card is sent to a platform with Apple Pay and PayPal. Apple Pay and PayPal are wallets which store debit card information, or they can store digital debit cards or credit cards. So, and they can also use it when they go to other merchants. So the technology that Apple Pay and PayPal use when Bank of America customers are using their smartphones to make transactions, the technology behind it is NFC and RFID, but mainly it's near-field communication. Near-field communication is, for example, when someone is using PayPal or Apple Pay, they'll open up their card on there, and they'll point it closer to a point of sales reader at the merchant place, and the merchant point of sales reader will read it, and NFC is using electromagnetic fields to transfer data, and it's processing the transaction immediately. So there's a difference between near field communication, RFID. RFID is mainly used for inventory, access control, attendance tracking, and it's one way. But near field communication is two way, where it can act as a reader and it can act as a tag. It can act as both. And PayPal and Apple Pay, it's usually used for near field communication because it's a more closer transaction. It's higher frequency, and it has to be used in closer distance, when RFID can be used in longer distances. And near field communication mainly used for contactless payments. And another technology for security reasons that Apple Pay and PayPal use is tokenization. Tokenization is a sector where when you make a transaction with your digital debit card, it will disappear your card number, and it will just give it a tokenization to the reader, so that any hackers or anybody trying to find out the account number, they'll be reading the token number instead of the actual account number from the card. So the competition. So Bank of America's main competition is Wells Fargo, but there's also Capital One and RBC. So the competition aspect of the digital debit card, what it did is the main thing is the wallet aspect. So what Bank of America did better than its competitors with this digital debit card is that they were the first to access using third-party wallets. Because at first, what these banks wanted to do, they wanted to have their own type of wallets. Their own type of wallets, it just wasn't successful. But Bank of America, they did their research and they studied that if they use third-party wallets like Apple Pay or PayPal, they would have more success, because mainly a lot of people aren't using digital debit cards, and mainly people are using those wallets like Apple Pay and PayPal. So they chose to use a third-party wallet. They were the first to do that. And that's how their temporary digital card is accessed through those wallets. After that, it compelled other banks to want to use third-party wallets as well. And that was the advantage that this temporary digital debit card they had over their competitors, because they were the first to use third-party wallets instead of having their own wallet. Implementation. So the success factors. So their main goal was to establish convenience for Bank of America customers and cut down on material costs and have more security for security purposes. So the better convenience comes from them not having the Bank of America customer not having to go to the physical location, the Bank of America location, and they can just access their digital debit card on the go from the Bank of America app, send it to the wallet, and they can make transactions on the go instead of going through the process. And sometimes Bank of America couldn't be open, but now they don't have to wait on the Bank of America to be open. They can access it whenever they want, and it can be on the go. They are cutting down on material costs by not having to buy so many physical temporary debit cards, and so that cost is completely gone. And for security purposes, when you access a wallet, you have to use face identification and you have to use a PIN number. And also the security purpose with tokenization, it works well with the Bank of America customers for security reasons. So the conclusion, it was great timing. Now it's a permanent innovation, and now it's a new way of life for Bank of America customers. And this was the successful innovation. And now I have explained to you the introduction of the temporary digital debit card. I have explained to you the technology aspects of what backs it up. I've explained to you the competitors that it influences, and I have gone over the conclusion. Thank you, everybody.